I was raped in college by a man I didn't know and had never shown interest in. He followed me home from a party, sneaked into my building, and waited until my male friend, who had walked me home, left. Then he banged on my door. At the time, I was an 18-year-old white female in a small college town in the South. I had more evidence than most campus rape cases: witnesses, text messages, and a rape kit. I knew this wasn't a one-time mistake. If he got away with it, he would definitely do it again. I felt it was my responsibility to try to do something. But 2 years later, the district attorney told me they wouldn't pursue the case. They said, "It's difficult to prosecute when alcohol is involved." By then, it was too late for me to file a civil suit. I later found out they never even analyzed my rape kit or investigated the crime scene. It felt like they were doing everything they could to avoid prosecution. There was nothing on his record, not even a dropped charge. It took me a long time to move on and accept that I did what I could. Then, about a week ago, 6.5 years later, I noticed unread message requests on Facebook. One was from him. We weren't friends on Instagram, so I was shocked to see his name. His messages were disturbing and clearly showed he wasn't well mentally. But the last message shook me to my core. "So I guess I raped you. I won't do it to anyone else ever." I sent the messages to the district attorney's office. They were shocked and said they'd get back to me in a week. But they warned me not to get my hopes up because these cases are complicated and difficult to prosecute. Deep down, I knew they would find an excuse not to move forward. I realized I needed a lawyer, so I'm out looking for legal advice here. I want to know if anyone has been through something similar and knows of nonprofits, resources, or pro bono lawyers that might help. I can't sue him due to the statute of limitations, and suing the government feels like an uphill battle. But I can't just let this go again. I've learned that silence doesn't bring about change. What can I do to get a mark on his record and shed light on the justice system that failed me and so many others? I received so much helpful advice, referrals, and positive comments. I can't thank everyone enough. I now have a lawyer who specializes in these types of cases. They're working to push the criminal case through the legal system. If that doesn't work, my plan B is to share my experience on social media. Thank you all again. Fast forward to October 2025. After 12 years, my rapist who confessed was finally prosecuted. It all started with that Facebook message I received 5 years ago. He didn't apologize, but his message reopened every wound I'd spent years trying to heal. I knew I wasn't gonna let it go this time. From my first experience trying to get the case prosecuted, I knew it wouldn't be easy. I turned to Reddit asking for advice. I received hundreds of responses and DMs. One was from a prosecutor in another state who provided legal and emotional support. Another survivor connected me to her lawyer, who ended up representing me. That lawyer introduced me to the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape, PCAR, and their legal team. They stood by me through the process. When months passed with no movement, we took my story to the media. The Associated Press broke the news, and soon after, Good Morning America picked it up. The pressure worked, and charges were finally filed. But my rapist was nowhere to be found. In 2024, he was identified in France and extradited. This week, 5 years after that Reddit post and 12 years after the assault, he was sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison. Justice was finally served. It all started with Reddit. So many kind, helpful people showed up for me when I needed it most. Thank you, Reddit community.